What do I do as an emotional resonance clearing practitioner? So emotional resonance clearing is based on a 4,000-year-old Taoist theory that the universe is made up of these 5 elements: fire, earth, metal, water, wood, and that we have these beautiful elements within us. Each of these elements represent a specific emotion. So fire is joy, earth is nourishment and sympathy. Metal is grief, but it's not the grief that you would think of. It's actually stepping into grief as a beautiful thing, because then you appreciate that you love something so much so that when you lost it, you felt grief. Water is actually fear, but it's fear, but in the way that you're proactive with life, you're assessing risks, that kind of thing. Wood is anger, but it's specifically suppressed anger and frustration. So those are the main emotions. And then each element is connected to specific organs, either 2 to 4 organs. But then they're also connected to a specific spirit. There's the 5 spirits. And so fire is really knowing your true authentic self. And it's not just knowing yourself right now. It's like, okay, I know who I am right now, so this is who I am for the rest of my life. No, the beauty of knowing your true authentic self is that it's fluid and things are constantly changing. We're constantly learning and evolving, right? So you can be one person right now, and then next week you could be diving into a whole new aspect of yourself, but you're true to yourself. You know your true authentic self and you stand in it with integrity. And then earth is the superpower of earth is cultivating your ideas to fruition. So not only when you balance your earth, like you just are able to have all these ideas start growing and growing, right? But if you have all these ideas coming in and you're stagnant and you just can't get to that point where you're manifesting it, that shows like an imbalance in the earth. And metal is appreciating the preciousness of the moment. It's when your life is so busy and everything, but you're able to just take that moment and be with your children, or you're able to take that moment and appreciate the sun or appreciate the snowflakes coming down. It's really being able to be in that moment and not be worried about like anything else. But metal also has the superpower of knowing what's for you and what's not for you, and being able to let go of things that are not for you and be able to move on. And water is trust. Water is like coming to your origin point. Water is the superpower is trust, like trusting that the seeds that you planted in earth are going to grow, that they're going to come to fruition, that it's meant for you. And wood, the superpower of the spirit with wood, is knowing your life's path. And just like with fire, just like with knowing your authentic self, it's knowing your life's path in that moment. It's having an idea of the full picture, but also in that moment. And that can change. It's all very fluid. And everything with 5-element theory, when I work with my clients, it's all very individual. We all have so many beautiful, beautiful different nuances, right? So how can you work with me? What are the different ways that I do sessions with 5-element theory? So there are 2 sessions where we really focus on current situations in your life. One of those is just an elemental clear. So you would come to me with one specific issue that's going on, and we would dive in and we would look at what element does this pertain to? What organ is it in? What emotional or physical pathologies are showing up? And then what is the issue that relates to? The response to the issue, and ultimately the primary question. Now, the primary question, that's very important. This is something that has been repeated in your life, that has been ingrained in the myelin in your brain. So with 5-element theory, we work with neurolinguistic programming. We work with energy meridian clearing. We work with naturopathic support. So anytime that I work with a client, not only are we focusing on your underlying patterns that are leading to the issues that are showing up in your life, but I'm looking for, is there a specific spirit that is deficient or full? Is there a deficiency or fullness in the organ? I really, really dive in, because the thing is we can clear the things that are going on, right? But if there's weeds in the foundation, it's not going to stick. You're probably going to fall back into those patterns. So that's why it's so important to look at the entire whole picture, because we're a holistic being, right? So I really, really look at where the elemental imbalances lie. I look at the underlying patterns as well as the spiritual fullnesses or deficiencies and support that naturopathically. And then we look at integration. So I not only clear these with you, And it's not like I'm just like holding up my hand and like doing this for you, right? No, I'm teaching you how to do it for yourself. I'm showing you how to clear the energy for yourself. But then we go into integration. So you're always supported when you work with me. So that's an elemental clear. And then a Shang cycle clear would be the second level. And the Shang cycle clear is for a current situation that is maybe a little bigger, there's more involved, or it's also for something that you've been working on for a very, very long time. And maybe you've even gone to different modalities, or you've tried different things to really like resolve this and get this out of your life, get this repetitive pattern out, and it just hasn't been working. That's what the Shang cycle is for. And with the Shang cycle, what I do is we have this specific situation, and then I dive into each element. So the basic elemental clear is where we go into the element, we see the pattern, I see if there's an underlying pattern that is leading to that, or if there's another pattern that was leading to that one. It's very complex, but it's so beautiful. There's like a destruction, creation, relationships between the elements that I look at. There's a lot. But with the Shang cycle clear, what we do is I look in each element, and I do that for each element for that specific situation. And what we do is we replace the primary questions that are coming up with the proclamation. And it's a very powerful thing, because it's going to replace that primary question that has been ingrained in your brain by the patterning over and over, right? And then there's integration work. And a lot of my integration work, there's specific things we do per element, but I also use the Healy to help you integrate. So when you work with me, whether you have a Healy or not, I would be sending you frequencies to help you with the integration. So that's a Shang cycle clear. And then, oh my goodness, then we have the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone is where we really dive in. We discover what your constitutional factor is. With 5-element theory, everybody is born with a specific constitutional factor. And depending on what your constitutional factor is, there's so many things in your life. Like, for example, certain things that you're supposed to eat or not eat. There's different realizations that you'll come to, like Earth constitutions. I'm an Earth constitution. And Earth constitutions tend to overnourish others in order to prevent having to look at themselves not wanting to be nourished because they don't believe that they are worthy of love. Like, it's very, there's some beautiful nuances. I say all of it, the awareness that we come to, the realizations, the revealing of the underlying patterns, it's all a beautiful awareness. It's all seeing the whole picture, right? So with the Philosopher's Stone, efficiencies within the organs, within the spirits, and providing naturopathic support, integrative support. But then what we do is we go into each element and we alchemize every single element. And so each element has 5 primary questions. So we alchemize each element, so fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And then we make sure that we have that all done. So we're doing proclamations, we're doing integrations, we're really deep diving. And the thing with Philosopher's Stone is these are lifelong patterns. These are things that are repeating over and over in your life. So it's just really powerful work.